phone. I'll see.
Okay.
So Amy, what I am recording this call. I thought it was automatically set to record, but I actually had to start the recording, so that was something that I just learned myself. I don't know if everyone can see the bottom of my screen. But if everyone goes down to the bottom of their screens, do you see like a whole taskbar at the bottom?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
No.
So
You have to put your your
cursor
on,
at the bottom of
and
this
it pops up.
window.
Yep.
Okay, I see. I thank you. Oh, now I lost you. Shoot.
Oh,
Well,
Amy,
it goes
yay! Hi.
I'm on with my phone, not my iPad.
Okay.
There we go. Hi, Amy.
I don't have a bottom of that.
So, yeah, if you put the cursor down at the bottom of the picture, it shows up, but then if you don't do something, it goes away.
Right,
Oh.
right. So
Yeah.
if you see at the bottom, there are a lot of controls. And so like right here, you know what, I'm gonna share my screen.
Excuse me, Susan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Because you know, again, now I'm on this thing that says Google Play. I touched the bottom. I didn't touch anything, and now I don't know how to get back to you.
Wait, hold on one second, Barbara.
I see you, Barbara.
I see you too. I see and hear you.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, I'm not touching anything.
Okay, I'm
it, I'm
trying
not
to
touching
figure
anything.
out how to, I'm trying to share my screen,
You are.
but can you, what do you see? Do you see a small image of everybody, or do you see the full?
Yes. We're on the right side now, like going down.
That's not what I want. Hold on
Okay.
one second. I want to.
No, I'm
To my share for full screen. Okay, the video from the.
Yeah, it says you're viewing Susan Gomberg's screen. Yeah, we can see everything you're doing.
All right, but I want to get back to the screen.
Right, now I'm looking, okay, I'm looking at your emails.
I'm
I
getting
know. I'm trying to get back to.
God, what is this?
I'm trying to get back to. This is so weird. Wait, no.
I'm seeing a whole,
You
No, I'm
see?
trying
I'm seeing
to.
a whole bunch of icons.
I don't know how to get back to. Okay. So we're learning together, just so that anyone is a little concerned about why I'm incompetent at this. This is so weird. I don't know how to get back to. I'm going to stop the screen sharing for a second.
Okay.
Hold on. One share. Okay, stop share. All right. So we're back. At least everyone can see the full screen experience.
like,
So
Well, I can see Nicole.
There's
you,
Brian.
Nikki, and
you should see 7 of us. Do you see 7 of us, Barb?
no, I just see
I just see Brian.
you, Susan, Nikki, Jill.
I see everybody.
Occasionally,
I know.
Amy pops in, and so does Brian.
Okay, so in the right hand, okay, in the right,
I only see, Susan, only see one person at a time.
okay, so now I'm going to explain in the upper right-hand corner of your window, you should, if you put your cursor in the upper right-hand corner of the window, you should see a choice for what your view should be.
No, I'm seeing record.
Yep, got it.
Yeah,
It's like a grid. It's like looks like a little grid.
Looks like a little grid.
Gallery view? Did you say gallery view?
What?
Wait a minute.
Does it say gallery view?
Yeah,
Yes.
so you want to choose gallery view in order to be able to see everybody.
Okay, so click on that.
Click
Yes.
on that, and now everybody, Amy, since you're on the phone,
Okay, got it. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure that you have the same, instruction gadgets. So, but if you were on your computer or on your iPad, you would have in the upper right-hand corner the ability to change your view. So when you're having a group, you want to choose gallery view.
I'm on my phone. Wait. Now they're coming. Now everyone came.
Okay. So you want to choose gallery view, so obviously everyone can see everyone, and you want to tell your group members to choose that too, because one of the advantages to this view is that people don't talk over each other because they can see each other's mouths moving. And that's really a big advantage when you're in this kind of a format, because when you have people who call in, they don't have the ability to see others, and people do speak over each other. And I know we all have those problems in our groups, even when we're in the same room with each other, is that people speak over each other. So this is definitely a help.
Never.
Never?
No,
Your group,
never.
they're so obedient, Brian, right?
I just
Very polite.
tell them to be quiet.
Yeah.
Well, I know how well that works with some people in your group, Amy.
Yeah.
So, so there are a lot of different ways that if you go down, again, because I couldn't do a good screen share, so I have to learn how to screen share better. If you go down to the bottom and you see all those controls that you have at the bottom, and then at the top on the left is the recording controls, and on the top right are the view controls. Those are the things that are, most useful to you. You can let me know if I'm setting up the call for you. You can let me know a couple of things. One is whether or not you want to record your session.
I think the answer is no to that, Susan.
Oh, because of privacy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm recording our session.
Yeah, well, this is not the group. This is not a different purpose. I'm saying I don't think that we need to have the recording
I'm not-
on
I
our group.
wouldn't record the group.
Okay. And the other things that you might want to let me know is whether or not you want to, now that everyone has joined Zoom, I believe, at least with a free account, I can make each of you a co-host on your group, and then you need to let me know whether or not you want to let people come into the room before you arrive.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, I have mine set up that if people can come in before me, like Nikki was here before me today. So because I was washing my face, I realized okay, it's 10 o'clock. I really need to be at my desk and with a clean face. So, there are things that you can control. Also within Zoom, there are tutorials that you can take. I have taken a couple of them, and then I figured I would just figure my way around. But if you are, wanting to learn more about Zoom, you can take tutorials. I really used it first, quite honestly, for virtual happy hours. So we were getting together as groups of friends and kind of just using it as a way to communicate and drink. So I have found it's really got a lot of great features, of which I don't know all of them, but so whether or not you want to control, that there's also a chat function, so that if you're on the bottom, you'll see chat, which will open a window on the right or the left, depending upon how you set your computer up, for people to send a message either to everyone in the group or privately just to one of the members of the group. So if people have a question that they may not want to share publicly, or they have a situation that they want to keep private, you can enable the chat and let people send you a private message. Or if someone's having a technical, Jill,
Yes,
I'm sorry, your hand is in front of your camera.
sorry.
That's okay. So
I'm
someone's
just
having,
checking it out. Okay.
if someone's having a technical problem with then not everyone has to kind of be, engaged with that. So that's another advantage. You can invite people at the last minute. If you go to the bottom, and let's say somebody says, oh, my child is in the other room, I would like them to be able to log on. You can invite people at the last minute. They don't have to be on the original invitation. If you click on that, you'll get something that lets you choose a mail service. There's a button that says copy invitation or copy URL, so you can just send the link to somebody quickly and say, if you want to hop on, here's the link. Did everybody see Nicole's chat message?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you can also mute on the bottom left. You'll see that there's a mute button. You can mute yourself and you can mute others.
You can mute. Oh,
So if you're eating or you need to walk away to take a phone call, you can mute yourself, or your dog starts barking in the background. You can mute yourself so other so all of those features are, I hope you don't mind, I'm taking a picture of our meeting.
I don't have all those controls. My phone is not doing the same things.
Amy, I will work with you separately.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I'm having trouble with my iPad. I can't get the app on it because it's asking for my thumbprint and it's not taking it. So
so when you do your group at night, is it possible you can use your computer?
no,
Okay.
because he's teaching on it that same time.
Oh, so
I'll work on my iPad and see
Right.
what I.
Right, so we'll see if we can get you up and running completely on your iPad. But Amy has a co-leader, Shelley, who's not on this call, and I promised I would share the recording with her because she was also concerned about her ability to do this. So for your group, Amy, at the very least, I can always be on and I can get everybody, set up if you can't. So does anybody have any questions that I haven't addressed in terms of using Zoom?
Okay, I'm going to send out to our current support group an email about all this business, okay, and your thing to click on, okay, for next Tuesday night, okay. Now,
Next week, okay.
It's next week.
Yeah.
Your group is next
So,
week.
30.
Susan, what were you saying about people who need to be added in? Because I'm sending it out to a group that's already known. How would people be contacting us to be added in? What? I'm not sure what that.
I don't think that's relevant to us. That's more like a business.
Okay.
Invite.
Don't even
What
answer
I
it.
did,
Yeah.
what I
I'm
did,
sorry.
Barbara, because
Yeah.
we have a list of 94 people. I didn't send it to. I sent it to people that have participated recently, and then I sent out to an extended one and said, if you're interested, please contact me and I will give you the information.
Okay.
So I didn't, and only one other person responded that that I hadn't sent it to.
Yeah.
So I opened it up that way.
I see.
But
well, I'm just a few months ago, I cleaned up our email list. So, I mean, I think that I could safely send it out, and these are people that we most recently, you know, it went from like 2,000 to about 25 or something like that,
Right.
of people who, you know, we've seen in the last 2-3 years. So I understand you did, but I think we'll be okay. Thank you.
In terms of like inviting people, it's also like if you're with your friends saying you want to invite another friend, that's when you would do the invitation thing. So I think for our purposes, we don't have to worry about that.
Okay. I guess it would only be if, you know, a call came into the office and somebody else, you know, somebody called
Yeah.
tomorrow, they're a new parent and they wanted the information, they could
Mhm.
be added.
Yes.
So they could just be added to the email list. Got it. Okay. All right.
We can see your conversation, Nikki.
Okay.
I
Oh, no.
Nicole asked a question and I wanted to show
She's not
everybody.
cute. Oh, over here.
Can you see on the right-hand side of the screen, it says all the participants? And then underneath it, it says mute all, unmute all. So you can selectively mute people as, you know, as a, on your screen. So if, for example, somebody does have a lot of noise going on in the background and they either don't know how to mute themselves or they're kind of ignoring the fact that they should be muting themselves, you can go in and mute them.
Hey,
You
can we
know-
do that during the support group meeting? If somebody talks too much, we just mute them.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I would
And
just.
still don't get any
I'm
ideas,
talking
all right?
about-
So
I already got him on that one.
how do you do that? How do we mute people? I mean, I see I do myself. I don't, and I
Right,
see.
so do you
Nicole
see
is
at the
mute.
bottom, manage participants?
I don't have any of that.
I know,
I
Amy, because you're on the phone.
I see participants. I don't see manage participants. I
Okay,
see.
so it may be that only the hosts can do that. I'm not 100% sure. But since I'm going to make each of you a co-host for your groups, you should see that at the bottom. In that bar at the bottom, I see something that says manage participants. When I
Yeah.
click on that, the same as the chat box opens, all the list of participants comes in and I can
Yes.
individually mute you or mute all of you. So when I make you all co-hosts of the meetings, I'm assuming that you should have the same rights, because I believe that when I read about making somebody a co-host, it said that you can give them the same rights. What I would like each of you to do is to send me the email address and name that you registered your Zoom account under so that I can make you a co-host. Because when I
Is it the current Gmail account, the email address that you have?
I'm sorry?
I'm interested, Susan. What you
I'm
need
getting-
from us? What?
Yes, she's got bad Wi-Fi.
I'm sorry, Barb. you're
I didn't
breaking-
register with an email. I just signed in. I just went to Google Chrome and typed in, you know, Zoom, whatever the thing you gave me, and it came right, and it downloaded.
Yeah.
So
I just got the thing.
Okay, I believe that means you registered with your Gmail address.
Okay.
In other words, that's how I registered, probably inadvertently. I'm not really
Yeah.
happy about that because I don't know my Gmail password. So I have to find my Gmail password, but I believe, and I don't need your passwords in order to make you a co-host. I just need your Gmail address, and we'll try it. We'll see if that works, because I tried to make someone a co-host of something I was doing, and it said this person does not have a Zoom account. So if everybody sends me the email address that they registered with which if it's just log in with Gmail, I think it is your Gmail account. Because when you go first to the, like, open up Zoom, you'll see like your little Gmail stuff is up in the right-hand corner of Zoom. You can see it. You might have to be on the main page, Nikki.
Yeah, I'm seeing, I'm looking at the Zoom training. I see your ID number, your name as the host.
look at me on that white, where it's all white, you know, like the
Yeah.
homepage. Look
Yeah.
in the upper right-hand corner and see if
Huh?
your little Gmail or Google avatar is there with like your little initials or whatever. I don't know, honestly, but I'm pretty sure that that's how it is, that even if you register just through Google, it is your Gmail address.
I'm trying to see if if I'm registered through Google or not, but I don't know how to tell that. Like it's not
more.
click more. Oh, hold, my son is helping me. Hold on 1 second. No, it's just saying rename. No.
You might not be able to tell when you're on it. You might have to wait till you're like not on it.
Yeah, I think you probably have to wait until you're off, but
That's what it said, yeah. Okay.
which son is that?
Matthew. Matthew,
Hi,
wanna say hello?
Matthew.
He's over here.
So, I think we're all gonna learn kind of as we go along. And
Susan, I have a question.
great. Thank you, Jill.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Susan, I'm sorry, your question. You said, no, this is your personal Zoom account, right? Are you
Yes.
paying for this, or is Chrome Class paying for this, or how does, I mean,
I personally paid
should
for
we be
it. It was like,
contributing to this? I don't, you know.
no, it was $12 for the month, Barbara. I figured I could be a real sport and pay the $12. And originally my goal in doing it was for my friends, you know, for me and my friends. So it only occurred to me to use it for the support group subsequently because of the difficulties that Skype for Business has, and because the paid account allows the meetings to go on for more than 40 minutes. Zoom has a 40-minute limit on the free meetings.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, my $12 was well invested. If we go on longer than a month, I will re-up for another $12.
Yeah. Well, it adds up. That's all I'm saying. You know,
What?
you know.
Yeah, it wasn't
adds up,
100, but
so
you know, if it was expensive, I might, first of all, I might not have done it, because we're really being unbelievably careful about how we're spending the foundation's money at this point. So we are really monitoring our expenses and managing them very closely, because we are experiencing challenges in fundraising right now, and we are trying very hard to forestall any layoffs, because the fundraising landscape is very, very challenging. So I would not have spent the foundation's money to do this if it was expensive. We would have found a free way to do it, but I was able, you know, it was easy for me to do by myself, and I'm happy to do it. So in terms of Zoom, if any of your participants have a problem, I would say, like Amy had a problem. It is very easy on the phone. They won't have the same controls probably. I've never used it on the phone. We can each experiment personally with it on, you know, what it's like on the phone, so that we can tell, or we can read the tutorials. But in terms of iPads, computers, I think it's pretty easy, and you can direct your members to also use the bottom, you know, taskbar, to use the view at the top so that they can see each other. To invite people at the last minute, you click on that invite button at the bottom with the plus, and you can just send a URL or or forward the invite. The invite that I send out, you could obviously forward to your groups. I have a question, and I don't know who to ask for it. I don't know whether it's up to the individual group leaders, or whether or not it's up to someone at national or someone at your respective chapters. But like Amy, Jill, you can speak.
No, I was just, I said raise your hand, so I was wondering what that did.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it means basically that you want to, if you click on raise your hand, it means I'd like to speak, rather than sticking your hand in the And
Well,
that,
what did you get? What did you get on your screen?
I got a message at the bottom. Did anybody else get a message at the bottom saying Jill Fuchs? Do it
No.
again, Jill.
Okay, hold on. Lower hand. Now I'm lowering my hand. I guess my hand was still up.
Now,
Okay.
you,
I just did it now. Did anything come up?
Yeah, raise hand.
yeah, now you did it with visually or you did it with a click?
Click.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
You know where it shows up on the side panel, if you
Check.
you know, if you open up that side panel, all the members, all the participants are there, you see the blue hand, that's raise your hand. But you have to have that side panel open.
Got it. I see. Now, I got a message saying that you had your hand raised at the bottom. I don't know if anybody else did, and maybe I got it only because I am the leader of the group. You know, I am the host of the meeting. But again, when you guys do your meetings, you will be co-hosts. So you should be able to see everything I see.
But that could stop people from talking over each other, right? At your meeting.
It doesn't stop people from talking over,
What?
but as a host, you can recognize that if you are talking, if like I'm the host, I'm talking. If Nikki were talking, I could say, all right, Jill's been wanting to say something. Let's hear from Jill next.
Okay,
That
good.
kind of thing.
That might help. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Susan,
Yes.
do you think we could do a test run with Barbara and I as the hosts to see how it works?
Yes.
And maybe even Barbara do a test run with the people who are interested in doing it to see if they can get on. And so we're not doing this like as the meeting's starting, people going, I can't get on and all that stuff.
Should I try then and send it out to the group, say we're going to do a test? What's today? Monday? Yeah. Maybe
sometime this
tomorrow
week.
night thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in anticipation of our group next week or something like that. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
sometime during the week or Monday or something, yeah.
Right. You could also just suggest to people that they go on once themselves to make sure they can get on, you know, rather than trying to schedule a group. I mean,
Right.
you know, if you go on, if once they've registered, if they just go on and hit start video and their video works, they should be fine.
So then so should I do it that way? Just test it yourself? Or do you want me to set up a time, Nikki, so that we all get on? That'll become a meeting if we all get on. Anyway.
Right, people will start to talk. What I will do for everyone who's on this call now is I will send you an invitation as soon as we conclude this meeting as co-hosts. If everyone sends me their contact, you know, how they registered, and we can try it right away, so we get that out of the way.
Okay, Susan, I'm so confused. What do you need from us? I mean, if you contacted me, if I, I'm not sure what you need that you don't have from, what do you need from me?
Well, I have no idea
If you have no my Gmail address, and that's how I got on. On your
Zoom account. I went on my Zoom account, and that's how I got my email address.
I didn't go on the account. I just clicked the link from your email.
You must have registered for Zoom at some point, Barbara.
Oh,
No?
I think my husband has Zoom. That's, so
you're using Bill's account. You come up as William Jacobowitz.
All right, or worse things. Okay.
So I need to know what his email address is.
Okay, we have the same one. Let me just double check. I will double check because he's got work too, you know. All right, all right.
No. So if everybody just sends me in an email quickly, after we're over, like Jill just texted me the email address that she used to sign up. Nikki, did you use your opt-online address, or did you use a Gmail address, right?
Honestly, I don't know, Susan. I just went into, I'm on my laptop right now. And I opened up my Google Chrome browser and I just typed in the information. I physically typed in the information you sent and it downloaded Zoom.
Okay, so you know what? I'm not gonna do it right away, but I
I'll
will.
look when I get off.
I will, the first thing I will do is try to find everyone on Zoom.
Okay,
I will type in everyone's names. I will try to find, and then whoever doesn't pop up as being on Zoom, we'll figure it out on a one-off basis.
Susan,
Yes, I'm listening.
when I sent out the email to my group, it's all set up already.
Yes, it's all set up.
Right, okay. And if they can get on the computer, they can get on by phone.
Yes, absolutely. And when someone comes on by phone, you will see just their phone number and a little icon of a phone receiver.
Yeah, because I went on at first on my phone, I get on my cell phone. So,
Right, right.
okay.
So just to recap, what I'm going to do is after we hang up, rather than invite you all to be co-hosts, I'm going to make sure I can find each of you within the Zoom membership. And then if I can find you, I will invite you to be a co-host of a meeting. And that should work because you're there and Zoom recognizes you. Because when I tried it with someone who wasn't, Zoom just told me these people can't be co-hosts because they're not members of Zoom. So, and then if I can't find you, we'll do it as a one-off. We'll say, all right, we need to register you in a certain way so that you can be a co-host. Again, I've never done this before, so I'm gonna trust that most of you will be able to be found in Zoom and be able to easily become co-hosts. And if not, then we'll do it as a one-off.
Well, it's probably it's a free sign up, so it's easy enough to download the app and then you're signed up. So everybody would be.
But like, for example, Jill,
The free app
Nikki
is only for a
downloaded the app, but
40-minute
she's
max.
not sure she's signed up.
Nikki, you're muted.
Yeah, Nikki's muted.
I think it is through Gmail, so I was just minimized the screen. I was looking and it's my Gmail icon is in the top right corner. So
Right, that's what I was saying to you, in the top right-hand corner of your Gmail, but I don't have your Gmail address.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, so I only have your opt online, so that's what I was saying. If everyone sends me that was perfect, Nikki, because that's exactly what I was hoping you would see, is how you signed up, which if at the bottom, when you first signed up, it would register with your email or log in with Gmail or log in with Facebook. Now I'm remembering.
No.
So if you logged in with Facebook or Gmail, it automatically.
I didn't do any of that.
I know, Amy, because you're on the phone.
Well, I didn't get any of that either, but I think it's because I was already in Google Chrome. So
Amy, we're going to deal.
All I did was click the connect. Okay.
We're
Okay, fine.
When we get you on your iPad, we are going to solve this problem, because then you'll be like everybody else.
If I can get on my iPad, I have to figure out how to get on my iPad now.
But you're always on your iPad. Anyway, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it, you and I, separately.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So if there are no more questions right now about the actual functioning of this, I wanted to open it up to Barbara to lead any questions that people have that have been coming up in their groups, or concerns about actually managing the groups during this coronavirus crisis, and questions that people are asking, or any concerns that as group leaders you might have.
Well, I'll just say yesterday, because I'm involved with Camp Oasis, I got sort of looped into an email that came from one of the pediatric GIs from Mount Sinai. And it was an email that just said that the office is closed due to the everybody in the GI office is deployed to help other areas in the hospital, nurses and doctors. So like it said, if you, you can call in the office and somebody will return your call, but the office is closed. So I'm just, you know,
Very.
I think that will be happening in a lot of offices in the metropolitan area, and that I think that it must be very challenging for parents to think that they can't get their kids doctors or even adult people who call into speak to their physician who have a question, and they find out the office is officially closed due to the crisis. So I don't know whether anybody's experienced that personally, but I think we have to be prepared that that will be a problem, but hopefully most things will be handled on the telephone. I can't hear you, Amy.
Someone in my
I can't
group,
hear you.
I don't know why.
I can hear her.
Muted.
I can hear her.
I didn't mute.
You're not muted.
No.
I'm not muted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
To my group had a FaceTime with her doctor. The doctor set up an appointment time to FaceTime.
Yeah.
I do know that a lot of doctors are doing FaceTime appointments. I know like Dr. Katz's practice is doing FaceTime appointments. Barbara, I'm wondering, based on what you told me about Rebecca and all of what's happening at Weill Cornell, whether or not you know anything about Robin's practice.
I know nothing about her practice, no.
Nicole?
I assume it's the same. I assume it's the same because Weill Cornell now is a total COVID hospital. All pediatric patients are now at Columbia. They've all been transferred. Cornell Weill is a COVID hospital.
So I assume all adult patients have been transferred out also.
Correct. Elsewhere, either at Columbia or other places.
Right.
And any kind of elective surgery is held off. I'm not just talking about like a brow lift or something, but even say, you know, like Rebecca was telling me, like a child who needs some sort of cardiac surgery, unless it's an emergency, this surgery will wait, because any person who needs a respirator to recuperate after their post-op, this is being waited on, you know?
Right.
So that might affect somebody who's waiting for a J pouch or in the middle of their surgeries for that, and they expected that, you know, they're going to get a revision, you know, April 15th, probably not happening for a while.
No, absolutely none of those surgeries are happening.
Yeah, so I think we,
yeah, so that's
emergency.
Definitely something that may come up in your groups.
For sure.
Nicole?
Anybody else have any things that you're aware of?
I wanted to ask Nicole what's going on in New Jersey in terms of the practices that first of all, is your group a general group of patients, caregivers, parents, you know, spouses, or is it all patients, or is it all, you know, is it a specific group?
Our group is really mixed. We have from a college student all the way up to an 82-year-old man. So we have a very broad range. We have both UC and Crohn's patients in the group, and everyone's diagnosis is from brand new to had it for 20-something years. So our group is really great. It's very diverse in that way. And yes, I invite caregivers and spouses and whomever to participate. And most of them do bring them with them. And you know, they even have the opportunity to discuss how their spouse's disease affects them and all that stuff. So, you know, I monitor the time really well, depending on how many people show up. I'm pretty good at watching the clock and making sure everybody has the chance to talk and stuff like that. But in New Jersey, it's a little...
Oh, you froze.
Yep.
You know, can I mention one other thing? Infusion centers. People about, you know,
Barbara, hold on a second.
Nicole, you unfreeze?
Yeah. Nicole, you had frozen for a second.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Um,
Yeah, so New Jersey, same boat. Everything is on hold. Everything is being paused. Yeah.
Do you know anything about like the practices that a lot of your do a lot of your patients go to the same practices or the same hospitals or anything like that?
Not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest, no.
Right. Barbara, what were you gonna say? Because
I was going to say in terms of infusions, people concerned, can they carry on with their usual schedule? And I think the answer is yes, infusion centers should be open still. I have a friend whose husband gets Remicade, and he got it like on last Friday at Columbia. He was able to go to the infusion center, you know. He's very concerned, he had to take a subway there, but that's a separate issue. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
that should not be a problem, getting your infusions, but it could be. But I haven't heard of.
My sons get them at home, and John actually has his this like in 2 days. So I had him calling the agency that does it to make sure that they were still on track, that, you know, everything was, you know, in line. He said he did and everything was fine. My concern is this guy, this nurse that comes to the house also services people in the city, and now he's coming into my house. So I'm a little concerned about that, and I actually, not to sound like a nut job, but I'm going to make him like strip down and cover him up in, like my clothes before he comes into my house. And I'm sure he's going to have all safety, you know, gear and all that, but it just makes me uncomfortable that he's coming in. I'm hoping it's a nice day they can do it outside, but
I would do it on my deck if it was at all possible.
That's what I'm thinking, to do it on the deck. Yeah.
Yep.
Really am.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nicole.
I was just going to say, I had my infusion 3 days ago, and I thought the same thing, Nikki. She's going to come to my house. She's going to be, you know, she's going to have gloves and a mask on. She didn't have anything on.
Really?
No way. No way.
Swear to God. And I was like, you know, I was really nervous about it. And I basically just, you know, she put her gloves on when she put my IV in, but that was it. And in fact, you know, I told her that I was on several Facebook groups and trying to find resources, because I have a lot of friends in the medical industry, and they were looking for masks and like that. I have a huge pile. Like, I sewed all these, you know, little face masks. I sewed a whole ton of them because I've just been trying to help out. And she's like, I have a whole bag of gloves if you want it. I can donate those to you if you need them. And I'm thinking, like, you're going into all of these patients' houses who have compromised immune systems, and you're not wearing anything. Like, even a fabric mask would be fine, you know. But I was nervous.
And what was her response?
She just was like, yeah, they didn't tell us to be prepared or to wear any PPE. She said,
I can't believe it.
But isn't it
I believe you.
sense? You need someone to actually spell it out to you, to have common sense to do these things. I mean,
the infusion company is Nextron, and they're based out of North Jersey. And she said all the nurses who are doing the hospital infusions in North Jersey are the ones who are getting it. The ones doing the home care, like her, are not, because most of the IBD patients are home. So they don't have to really worry about, you know, the people that they're
But we got to worry about her.
I know.
She may not worry about us, but we have to worry about her.
yeah, that's how I feel too. Well, my husband is in the food industry. We do food production, so he has a lot of like protective gear at work. I'm going to have him bring it home. I'm just going to have the nurse put it on, because I'm just not comfortable with that. I have to hope that the agency we use is a little more proactive with that. In fact, I should really call them and just check that he has all that equipment. But
So,
Yep, definitely.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Brian?
I said, without a doubt, ask.
yeah.
So I want
got
to
not
share
good
a
story
little
that
bit
goes along
about
with that.
what I learned last week. And I'm going, as soon as we hang up, I'm going to reach out to our National Education and Support Department that deals with professional services, and bring to their attention what's happening at with the home infusion companies, because I've heard this a number of times. I helped a patient last week who that his home infusion nurse, which I think might have been that same company that you just mentioned, it was something with an N that I had never heard of, Nicole. When she comes to his house under normal circumstances, he doesn't feel she's very clean. And she coughs and she sneezes and she doesn't cover and da-da-da. So we got him a new home infusion company, OptumRx, which is owned by United Healthcare now. Briova was bought by OptumRx, which was then, part of United Healthcare. I actually have the form if people need it or want it for their doctors to use to switch the home infusion to OptumRx, because the OptumRx guy sent me that form. Supposedly they are coming with good protective gear, but I'm not, I'm again not 100% sure, but this is definitely a concern for all of our patients, where people are coming into their homes from being in other patients' homes, not only IBD patients, but cancer patients and, people who are getting infusions for a lot of reasons, or just home nursing. So I'm going to bring it to the attention of the foundation, because perhaps they can come out with some guidelines that they can kind of share with the home infusion companies in terms of what they need to do to protect patients. I don't know if I sent this to you, Nicole, but I think I sent it to everybody else, the guidelines that were just issued or updated on Friday from the IOIOI, whatever that group is, the International Organization for IBD Research. It was a long email. I sent it to.
Yeah, I read it. Yes.
Right.
It's very informative. Yes.
Right. So that's very informative. I encourage everyone to read through it in terms of what this is like. A consortium of the world's leading IBD researchers and their findings at the moment as to what people should be doing about their medications if they have a diagnosis, if they don't have a diagnosis of COVID. And it listed every single medication and a pre-diagnosis and a post-diagnosis. And obviously everyone should follow their own personal doctor's instructions, but I found it very helpful to read through that. I don't know if everybody saw it.
I did. I read it. Yeah.
I
It was.
read it.
Yeah.
What, Barbara?
I just want to double check. I think I saw it.
And I'm not sure if I sent it to you, Nicole. Do you remember getting it? If not, I'll send it to you. I might have just sent it to the chapter support group leaders. So I will send it to you. I found it very very detailed, the most detailed information that I have seen. It's a great site to know about.
I follow a lot of different things on Facebook, and two of the things that I noticed is that one, they set up a COVID-19 and IBD group that is specific to discussions regarding the disease and the virus. And number two, just FYI, I take it, I get Entyvio. That's my infusion medicine. And I recently noticed a huge influx in the daily posts in there about, I'm having my infusion, I'm so nervous, what should I do? Whether it's in the hospital or at home. And I think this is just a big issue that really needs to be addressed. You're absolutely right that these home infusion services should absolutely know that they are going to patient's home who has a compromised immune system and is taking immunosuppressant medication. Hello. And this is something they need to be prepared for. I was shocked, literally shocked, when my nurse came up to the door and opened the door, and there she was, no gloves, no mask, no nothing. I'm like, what the hell? And people in the groups are actually saying, should I cancel my infusion? Should I not do my infusion? I'm nervous about going into the hospital or having them come into my house. I've been in isolation for 3 weeks, blah, blah, blah. So this is just a major concern that I've observed. And nobody in my personal support group has mentioned anything like that or contacted me or posted in our private group that we have, but I know from what I'm seeing, this is the trend and definitely needs to be addressed.
So I
Yeah,
have
I would agree with that. I mean, I find it so like mind-boggling that this is going on. My son was on a PIC line 6 years ago. She was wearing a mask and gloves, and she was gowned up to change out and clean out his lines, and yet they're coming in this situation and they're nothing.
So a couple of things. One, Nicole, I don't know about these groups on Facebook. I'm going to go in and look at them. But if you're a member of these groups, they're not foundation groups, right? They're just groups that somebody started. So I would advise to post a link to the foundation's page on the COVID-19 information for patients. I'll also send everybody in the group, I'm not sure I did. We have a page for healthcare professionals. It's available to the public. If you go into the search link on the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation website and type in COVID-19 professionals. We actually have a page for professionals. It's not hidden. You don't have to be a professional, but I will send everybody a link to that page as well. But it would be great if it would be a good public service, Nicole, for you if you're in these groups, if you direct people to the foundation. I don't know if everybody was on the Facebook Live with Dr. Rubin and Dr. Grossman last week. So there's a lot of misconceptions about immunosuppression, and I am not an expert, I am not a doctor, but I want to point out that they brought up something about immunosuppression on the Facebook Live that is important for patients to kind of keep in the back of their mind. It's not going to ease anybody's fears entirely, but the basic message in lay terms is that in an IBD situation, you have an overactive immune system, and what these particularly anti-TNFs, the IL-23s, what they do is they bring your immune system back to like a standard. He had an expression, I can't remember what it is videotaped on the foundation website, but it brings it back to a stable level. So it's not really suppressing your immune system, but bringing it back to like a normal level, so that your immune system is not attacking itself. So that's something, it's a.
That was very encouraging. I thought.
What?
That was very encouraging to have him frame it that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, that was one of the best things I heard there.
Right, and I think it's important for patients to know that because it is very calming. We've all been kind of like here over and over and over again, to the fact that we're immune suppressed, but in fact, we're really not immune suppressed. So it's very important information to share. That
Unless you're on prednisone.
What?
Unless we said prednisone was the problem.
Yes, I read that.
Prednisone.
Right, prednisone. But I'm talking about the TNFs, all the infusion medications, the Entyvio, Stelara, even Xeljanz. So, I encourage everyone, if you didn't see the Facebook Live video, it's up on the website. I think it was about an hour long, but it is so worthwhile to watch it.
I think it's 50-something minutes, 52 minutes.
Yeah, it was really very good. And then I unfortunately didn't see the mindfulness Instagram on Friday, but I believe on Wednesday, there's another Facebook Live. I don't know if it's tomorrow night or Wednesday. There's another Facebook Live on stress and anxiety, and that would be great to share as well and to make sure that we get on.
I think there was something over the weekend too, this past weekend. There's a whole listing on, if you go on the website, not the chapter, the
Foundation, right, that page.
Right. It tells you all the things that are coming up.
Susan, I just looked at my phone. I don't see that email about that international business.
Oh, sure. It was there. I got it.
Hold on,
I'm
Barb,
just
I'll
saying.
look.
It was
I don't
several
have it.
days ago. It was several days ago. If you want, just resend it. But it was very good. It went over every medication that
Right.
we're using, and should you stay on it, should you not stay on it, what's the protocol?
I mean, I thought I saw it, but I was just looking through
Barbara?
so it was.
I sent
What?
it on Saturday. I definitely sent it to you. It says forward IOIBD update on COVID-19 for patients with Crohn's disease, but
Right.
I'll send it to you right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
Susan.
it's all
Right.
right. And Nicole, I'm gonna send it to you as well. Anybody else didn't see it or wants to see it?
I saw it. I got it.
I'm just going through every Saturday thing here, and it's
You know what,
it's not
Barbara?
among them.
It looks like
Wow.
I might have sent it to Jacobowitz 10, not Jacobowitz 11.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
Okay, I just sending it to you again.
Okay, thank you. You can delete that couple with 10, that's from like 10 years ago.
All right, well, it sometimes comes up.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's the issue then. Thank
Right.
you.
Nicole, I'm on my phone, you're not autofilling. What's your email address?
N as in Nicole, P as in Pace, 1021
NP1021.
@gmail.com.
Okay.
Susan, I sent you mine. I just texted it to you a little while.
I saw that. Thank you.
And I'm going to leave the meeting now. I think that we got a good handle on this, and we'll touch base about doing a test run for the.
Right.
Well,
So,
Need anything, let me know. What?
Nikki, my meeting is on Wednesday night, so I can let you know how it goes.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
all right. Thanks,
Bye.
Nikki. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, toodaloo.
All right,
Toodle.
everyone's.
Toodle.
Thank you guys so much for participating. I hope you found this helpful.
All right.
Yes, Susan, thank you.
Thanks very much for doing this.
Bye. You're welcome.
Brian.
Bye.
Everyone stay healthy.
Yep.
All right.